Quie Iesu Domine, dona eis requiem. Quie Iesu Domine.
Good morning, everybody, and happy Friday. Got some more of the 30s and 40s music playing in the background. It might be a little too loud. Good, wholesome music. Something I've kind of dug up during Lent. Not my normal music that I would listen to, but I like it. That reminds me of my parents, and believe it or not, it makes me reflect on them a little bit more and pray for them a little bit more. The repose of my father's soul and my mom and her current waiting to pass on from this world to the next, although that could be months or years away, but they're taking good care of her at the home. Anyway, today's reading, Jeremiah. So you've heard me talk about various people of the Old Testament that I like. Moses, my A-lister, followed by Abraham, who's a good B+ because he trusts God when he knows nothing about God and his life is near the end. And he trusts God and develops this amazing friendship with God. Knows he's the Lord, yet has these amazing conversations with God, which is phenomenal. Even to the point of willing to sacrifice his own son in obedience to God. That's what God asked. He did it. Sure, with some difficulty. And then, of course, God stopped him because the test wasn't for God's sake. It was for Abraham's sake. Faith is the most important thing in Abraham's life, as it should be in ours. Trusting in God, believing in God, obeying God. Those are all the multifaceted dimensions of faith. Of all the prophets, my favorite prophet is Jeremiah. Isaiah, without a doubt, is the favorite prophet of the church and the favorite prophet of the New Testament writers. They love Isaiah. Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John all reference Isaiah. He is the prophet to them because Isaiah's ministry and his foreshadowing and prophecy is most intimately tied in with Jesus. I love Jeremiah because of all the prophets, he gives you an idea of the heart of a prophet and the mind of a prophet. And that being a prophet sucks. It's not fun. It is difficult, and Jeremiah wants to quit. Numerous times. He doesn't like the burden laid upon him. He feels the weight of his prophetic ministry, and yet, because he loves God and wants to please God, he continues on with his prophetic ministry. He doesn't abandon it. And so today's first reading is everything's going down the tubes for Jeremiah. Because why is Jeremiah in trouble? Because he's denounced the childish beliefs of the people. Babylon is coming. The people believe that if they just make a big hoop-de-doo at the temple, let's get religious real fast, God will save us, because this is the temple. He didn't allow it to be destroyed by the Assyrians. He won't allow it to be destroyed by the Babylonians. And Jeremiah says, such thoughts are foolish. Be faithful to God and put no trust in human, powers. Because who are the Jews looking to go back to, of all people? The Egyptians. I mean, that's the irony. After, hundreds of years of escaping from the Egyptians, they are now thinking about a political alliance with the Egyptians so that they can oppose the Babylonians. And Jeremiah says that's foolish. It won't work. Trust in God and take God's commands, which were to surrender to the Babylonians and to cooperate with them, not to oppose them or not to try to get a backdoor deal with the Egyptians. They ignore it, and they arrest Jeremiah. They throw him into a well, and then they take him off into captivity in Egypt, where I think he dies. But he warns of the people, and today's reading again is a foreshadowing that people are plotting against Jesus. Jesus knows this. And believe it or not, he's not worried about it. He's aware of it, and he probably has some concern. And I'm sure it preoccupies his prayer as he sees all this going on. Yet there's the unshakable faith of Jesus Christ, the absolute trust in the Father that we should turn to him for and ask him to bestow on us. And a deep abiding awareness of what it means to say Jesus Christ is Emmanuel, God with us. God bless. Blessed Friday, everybody. Hang in there, persevere, pray for one another, love one another, be kind and forgiving.